we've changed. We're strangers. I'm meeting you in the woods. Who am I?
So I am playing Baker, and he lives with his wife in a very nice little cottage, and they have a thriving business. But the thing that they're desperate for is to have a child, and they've been trying and they can't. And then they discover that the witch from next door has put a spell on them so that they will never have children, as revenge for his father stealing from the witch's garden. And so they have to go into the woods to find 4 things to put together for a potion for the witch in order to get the spell reversed. And that's kind of the whole story of the show, is their quest and the people they meet during that quest. And then they get to the end of the first act, all happily ever after, and then the second act, well, I'll wait until you see the show. No spoilers here.
Just the two of us beyond lies, safe at home with our beautiful prize.
I got involved with Axe through somebody I used to work with. She'd been trying to get me involved with Axe for the year prior to when I actually became involved. But because of my shifts at that job, I wasn't able to come to any read-throughs or auditions or anything like that. So when the following year's Panto came up, and read-through and auditions were about to happen, behind my back swapped my shifts around so that I was able to turn up. So when she said the read-through was on this day, I said I can't go, I'm working. And she's like, no, you're not, check the new rota. So I did, I wasn't. So I turned up, terrified, and yeah, it sort of went from there. I read the Dame as a laugh. That one moral with this group: never do anything as a laugh. It will end up happening in front of an audience. And yeah, so it went from there. So blackmail, espionage, and yeah, crafty rota shuffling. That's how I got involved with that.
Let's hope the changes last beyond woods, beyond witches and...
Highlight of the show thus far is, because this show is so company-based, we've got a lot of principal characters who are on stage a lot of the time. Everybody is in scenes with everybody else. And so with this show, more than any other show, I feel that we've been able to really glue together the company as a whole. Whereas with other shows, the same people are in scenes together and you end up with groups, sort of different little segregated groups of people. And you feel like you don't see someone at rehearsals because when they're on stage, you're not, and vice versa. Whereas with this show, we haven't had that, and that's been really lovely.
Just the two of us beyond lies, safe at home with our beauty.
The social aspect as well with any show, you always become so close to the people that you perform with. So yeah, definitely.
Just the two of us beyond lies, safe at home with our beautiful prize.
Wow, that's a really difficult question. I don't know how to answer. What do I enjoy least about being part of the show? Having to get up for work on the Monday morning after a long rehearsal on the Sunday. That's really difficult. So that I think, actually.
It takes trust, it takes just a bit more and we're done. We want 4, we had none.
Best advice I've ever been given was from a director I worked with a couple of years ago. And we were doing a show and there was this one scene where for some reason it just wasn't gluing together, in the sense that there would always be a pause before a certain line. And he said, if there's a pause, just somebody say something. And try and make it as relevant as possible. So I think that's probably the best advice I've ever been given. If there is a gap on stage, if the action suddenly grinds to a halt, fill it somehow.
On the journey into the woods to get the thing that makes it worth the journey. Into